Hey there, Christian the Old Man Cycling Show again. Welcome to another episode. Going to cover a couple things today. First off, I'm going to introduce you to my favorite bike in the world, my Pinarello GAN RS. We'll give a little tour of that, and then I'm going to go over a list of things I'm going to do to this maintenance-wise, because me and the Pinarello, we're going to take a little bit of a road trip. More on that to come, but it'll be interesting. So I'm going to rewrap my bars. I'm going to be changing the drivetrain out. I'm going to redo the bottom bracket, change the chain. I'm waiting for some new derailleur pulley wheels to come. I'm going to change the wheels from my normal carbon wheels to a different set of wheels for some sloppy riding in the late winter, early spring. There's more stuff on the road. I don't want to run the carbon rims then, afraid to get them scratched up. So I have a pair of Dura Ace C24 wheels, which I'm going to do, but I have to repack the hubs on them, redo the bearings with them. So I have a list of things I want to do. Today, I'm going to show you how a non-professional mechanic rewraps the bars. It'll be entertaining. You'll get to see me do this several times because I never get it right the first time. Before we get into that though, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a tour of my Pinarello bike, tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, which is very little, and give you, a little real world road test. I've had the bike for about 2.5 years now, and I can honestly say every time I ride it, I enjoy it a little bit more. I get to push it to the next level. I get to, go harder than I went before. So we'll talk a little bit about this. We'll talk about some of the upgrades I've done over the last 2.5 years on it. Before we get into that though, I have a favor to ask you. As always, please click that subscribe button. It's a little button down below the video. It won't hurt, I promise you. It really helps the channel. And as long as you're down there clicking the subscribe button, please click the little heart button, the little bell button next to it that will give you indications every time I post a new video. And then at the end of the video, if you like it, of course, click the like button. If you don't like it, feel free to choose, thumbs down. Also leave comments. Leave comments, what you didn't like or what I can do better or, what you'd like to see. But, as always, I appreciate you watching. I'm going to give you a tour of the Pinarello, walk through some of the upgrades I've done, as I said, and then show you how I wrap bars, which will be pretty entertaining because I'm not too good at it. So with that said, let's get right into it. So this is my Pinarello GAN RS. The GAN RS is made of a Torii T900 carbon. This was the top of the GAN line. It has since been replaced with a Prince frame. I forget which model of the Prince frame it is, but there's a Prince Pinarello Prince that has T900 carbon. It is a little bit more relaxed frame-wise than like the Dogma F10, F12. This is their comfort bike, but I'll tell you that really doesn't mean much. It does everything I want it to do. It is very performant. I can ride with the fastest of them. I can climb with the best of them. The bike has no limitations performance-wise. So as you can see, I've got it set up with the Dura Ace Di2. That was an upgrade I did last year. Absolutely love it. Once you go to Di2, I honestly think you'll want electronic shifting on all your bikes. The biggest thing is it's not so much the rear derailleur, although that is great, but it's that front derailleur. I mean, I literally changed the front derailleur with a finger push like this. It's that easy. No more twisting the hand underneath. If you watch my daughter's look bike review, I have the same wheels on here, the Easton EC90 SL wheels. These I do run tubeless on this bike, so you can say I have the Continental Grand Prix 5000 tubeless. These tires, if you thought the Grand Prix 4000s were good, these tires are better. These tires are absolutely fabulous. I've got about, I'm going to say roughly 5,500 miles on these tires. You can see if you can see this, they're getting a little rounded over on the top, flattened out on the top, I mean. So I'll be changing those. I have a new pair ordered. Di2 rear derailleur, 11 speed. I run an 1128 cassette on here. I have a 5236 crankset. I do have a Stages. Let's see if you can see it down there. I have a Precision 4i power meter. I only have it on the left crank. I'm not I'm not too worried about having the power meter, dual-sided and pedaling, even distribution power-wise. I really just look for it for my power. Like I said before, I don't race. I do like to look at my power just to see, where I am and gauge it relative to my heart rate. Those are my two big indicators of, how much I've got left in the tank. So, I do use a power meter. I don't have my head unit on here, but you saw I did a video review of the Karoo 2 from Hammerhead. That's the head unit I run. What else? Oh, the brake pads I have on here. These are ceramic. Carbon specific brake pads. These are the now I'll come back to that in a minute. I'll get you the name of them. These are brake pads. I forget the name. They come in that yellow color as well. These ones are a lot better. These actually stop in wet. Not perfectly, like no carbon rim is going to stop that well in wet, but these stop a lot better than the other ones. So I'll come up with the name of that before this video ends. But this is the Pinarello. Like I said, I probably have close to 10,000 miles on this bike now over the past 2 years. I absolutely love it. It just performs well. It has Pinarello's arrow-shaped seat post. I have a Celitalia Carbino SLR saddle. This saddle is fabulous. Carbon rails, cut out, light. This saddle weighs 120 grams. It's great. You can see I have the Di2 stuff internally routed, through the tubes. And again, the bike just performs. Like I said, the geometry is a little bit more relaxed than the Dogma, but still, I haven't found anything yet that the bike won't do that I ask it to do. It bombs through corners. I can go as hard as I want through them. I have no problem, with these wheels, these tires, and the bike itself. I never feel like I'm going to potentially lose contact with the road surface. Can't say enough glowing things about this. So I would tell you, in my review of the bike, all the things I don't like about it. So here it comes. There you have it. So, I can't say enough about this bike and Pinarello in general. This is my second Pinarello I've owned. The first one lasted me 20 years. I loved every minute of it. I decided to replace it with this one, like I said, about 2.5 years ago, and have not regretted that decision since, nor have I had any doubts or problems with this bike since I've had it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to rewrap the bars. So this side doesn't look too bad. But the other side, it's a little ripped. The bar tape's ripped. Plus, it's a season old. It's lost some of its cushion. It's looking a little tattered, especially where I taped it last time. So I'm just going to rewrap them. And like I said, this should be pretty entertaining because I'm not very good at wrapping bars. Now, before we get started, you can see the bars have been cleaned, removed all the old tape. Now, one thing to note is my Di2 interface is right here on the end of the bar. So I can't remove the cap on this end of the bar. And you'll see how we handle that when I wrap the bars. You see the bars are clean, cleaned them all off, got the residual tape from underneath the handlebar tape off. There's still a little up on there, but that won't get in the way. I'll clean it up as we go along. So we're going to start on the right side. There's many different ways that people want to wrap their bars. I do from the inside out on both sides, and then I do a figure 8 around the hoods, and then I reverse from the front to the back when I get to the top of the bars. You notice on these bars there's a line up on top. That's effectively where I stop the wrap. I leave this armrest part clean. Same on this side. I stop the wrap at that line on the top. Okay, so let's get started. So you can see I have this Deda fluorescent green, yellow tape, whatever. I do take this piece, I do use that. I know with the figure 8 they say you don't need to do it, but I do it anyway. I think I get better coverage that way. So like I said, I can't overlap this bar end because my Di2 unit's right there. So what I do is, like I said, I come from the inside out, so I just bring the bar tape all the way down to the end of the Di2. I make this first wrap, go right around snugly up to the edge of the Di2, as snug as possible, right to the bottom. And there's like a little lip on it that's hard to see. But, oh, and this tape, by the way, does have a tack strip on the backside. So you'll see that it will adhere to itself, if that's a word. So once I get that first wrap on there, that's right up to the end of the bar here. It's actually not good on the bottom. It takes me a while to get started on this end because you want to make it sure that it's firm so it sits in, but you don't want to also stretch it too far so it's out of sync, right? So now that I've got that, and I have the Deda so you can read it, now I'll start going up and overlapping by, maybe a half. And this is where, you know, it's firm, but you're not distorting the tape. So you continue up, you overlap by about a half, and it takes me a long time to do. Like other people, they'd probably be all the way up to the shifter by now. But it's one of those things, practice makes perfect, and I do this maybe 4 times a year, so it takes a lot of practice. So as you can see, I'm trying to keep the wraps even. I think I'm not going to come back and start again because that bottom one's not right. And you can do this. I mean, you get to a point you're like, it doesn't quite look how I want it. Start again. There's no penalty for doing that, right? So you start again, and now you start wrapping back up, overlapping as you go up. It looks better. Again, I'm overlapping about half. And like I said, there's an adhesive line on this. You can probably see it from that angle right here. I just have half the adhesive on this level. That's how I try to keep it consistent. And you have it firm. You're not pulling, you're not stretching, but you are keeping it firm. Okay? And same thing when I come back up, I'm looking for half of this adhesive to be on the tape. All right? So we're making our way up slowly but surely. Now you're going to notice when you get into the bend of the bar here, your inside, this part is going to be closer. The outside is going to be further, right? And that's just natural. No worries with that. You just keep moving along, okay? And I'm making it a little tight here. Like I'm not spacing out because I'm only going to tape to this point, so I don't need to, get the tape. I'll have a good amount left over when I'm done. You'll see that when we get up closer to the top. So I'm still going around here. Don't worry about this piece dangling. That'll be taken care of in a minute. Okay. Put that back out of the way a little bit. Bring this back down a little bit here. Okay. Now we're getting up to the brake hoods, and this is where you have to do the figure 8. And this is where I have to think about what it is I'm doing just about every time I do this. So you want to get up as close as you can to the bar. Okay, so I've got it wrapped up to just about the bottom of the lever. And at this point, I want to take it, press my thumb here, and I'm going to come up and over the top of the lever, okay? I'm going to come down the other side, back around the front, okay? And this is where this tape, it's a little thick, but we're managing. Now, this is the tricky part. So we're still going clockwise. The Deda is still readable, but now we're going to flip the direction. So we're going to come back over the top, but instead of going clockwise, we're now going to switch and go from the front of the bar to the back. So we wrap in here, try to get that in there pretty good, like that. Let's make sure on the other side there's no gap. And let me just check over there. Excuse my head a second. That looks good, okay. So now we're coming back, and now what we're going to do is we're going to switch this direction, and we're going to come back to the front of the bar and work from the front of the bar to the back, okay? So you can see we switched direction now. So we went around, over the top, back around the front, and now we took it over to switch direction. And if you roll the hood back, you can check right here. You can see how you're progressed here. If you roll the hood back a little bit, you should be able to see that there are no blank spots recovered. Okay? Actually, I see 2 spots. I want to try to cover those 2 spots. Let's try it again. And this is why I had that strip. And maybe what I can do, like those two spots are right where that strip would be. Let's see if I can repeat that the same way with the strip snare. Like I said, sometimes it takes me multiple attempts to get this done. But we're going to try it again. Let's back this out a little bit. Let's put our strip back in there. Okay. Try it again. So same thing, we're going to wrap around right up to the front. Right up to the front here. Come around one more time. Getting this strip in. Okay. Now from here, we're going to go over the top. Right. We're going to come back down around the front. Probably going to end up trimming that strip off a little bit, but that's okay. Right? And now we're going to switch the direction. Now we're going to switch over to here. Now, people will complain that that's too bulky in there. I don't think it is. You're in this corner. I personally don't think it's too bulky. So you want to get this in. That's a little loose right there. Pulling that. That's good. Snug. And now you're just back to wrapping from front to back. Okay? And we're going to continue the same thing, overlapping as we go. Hopefully the angle's okay and you can see. I'm coming front to back now. Right? Let's see if we can clean that corner up a little bit. Like I said, it takes a little bit of... There you go. That's tighter in there now. Staying good and tight on that edge, but not... It loosens up here. Okay. And back. And we're doing front to back now. Same thing, front to back. Keeping them snug. Right. Still wrapping by the same amount. Oh, lost my adhesive. Let's get the adhesive off again. Yeah, I do like the adhesive on the tape. I think, it just helps me keep it in place better. Some people don't like it. I personally do. Right, so now we're going to continue wrapping. And, don't be afraid. You can go all the way back and start at the beginning. You get to a point and you say, I just don't like the way that looks. Start again. This adhesive is pliable for, a good amount of time. Once you're riding it, of course, it'll stick. But now we're getting to where the other part, where we're going to want to cut the tape in line with how we want it to end so we can tape it off, right? So if you think about it, right, what you're going to want to do is this line is parallel this way. So if you think about this wrap coming over, right, what we're going to do with the last wrap is we want to cut it parallel like this, okay? So we're going to cut from this side this way, if that makes sense, okay? So let me get that cut and I'll show you what I mean. And then we'll tape it up. I'm going to trim this off a little here. The other side looks good. Let's shifting works. Brake action works. I'm just going to trim this a little bit, so it's in there. Let's see if we roll it back right now, what it looks like. See, it looks pretty good. There's no gaps. Everything fits in there pretty well. This side's all good. I like it. People might say it's bulky. I don't think so. It got no black showing through, no blank spots. Everything looks good. Like I said, shift and work. Right? Brake works. So all that's left is I'm going to cut this line parallel and I'll tape it off and show you finished. And that's how I do the figure eight. So you can see it took me a while. I did wrap real close to here, so that's all stuck. I go from inside to out, right? Did a figure eight up here. I did use the extra piece. Everything fits in there nice. It's not really not bulky. I mean, it's covered. So all we're going to do now is we're going to cut the tape. I'll finish off with black tape and show you the finished side. Okay, so here you can see the finished bar. As I said at the beginning, we just run right up close to this DI2 port, come up. You know, you get tighter in here. Did the figure 8 around the brake hood. The hood sits nice, no gaps in here. Come around to this side. Again, no gaps here. You see reverse the top, tape off the end. Have my nice flat spot to rest my forearms on when I'm riding. Shifters work, everything is in set. So like I said, I'm far from a professional taper. I do it maybe 4 times a year, but it's something I'm practicing, trying to learn. So that's the Chris method of taping, and I'm gonna wrap up the other side now. Okay, so we've finished wrapping the bars. You can see I got both sides wrapped. Looks pretty symmetrical. So again, I wrap from the inside out. So on the right side, it's clockwise, and here on the left side, it's counterclockwise. It goes in that direction. We've got both sides wrapped. It's pretty even, pretty equal. Stops at the same place. So again, I'm not a professional wrapping bars, but it's something I like to practice to do because it's fun. I like to learn how to do things. One last thing I wanted to say was, you can see I have my Cycles by Kyle's sticker on here. As I said, the importance of bike fit before in another episode is crucial. So I did buy this bike at Cycles by Kyle in Bryn Mawr, PA. The link to their site will be on my description block. Highly recommend, like I spoke of before, there's many bike fitters out there, and you have to find one you're comfortable with. I didn't know Tim Gresh when I started cycling, and I got this my first bike fit 24 years ago. I don't know if Tim was even in business then. Gresh Fit, their link's also in my description, comes highly recommended. Like I said, I've been going to Kyle's for 24 years now. I know all the guys there. I know Kyle. I know that, based upon my measurements, and Kyle knows my riding style, I'm going to get a bike that works for me. So again, I just want to stress the importance of really, when you're going to get a top-end bike and you're going to spend the kind of money I spend for a bike like this, you want to make sure it fits you. It's going to do what you want it to do. It's going to fit your riding style. So you really do want to find someone qualified to help you with that fit. It's essential. Again, this has been Chris from the Old Man Cycling Show with another episode. Hopefully you got something out of it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. You learned a little bit about what it's like to watch me wrap bars. Hopefully it was entertaining. Again, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out. It will allow me to do more content, better quality content. Give me topics you want covered. Give me suggestions in the comments. So click on subscribe, click on that notification icon so you know when new content comes up. Give me a like. If you didn't like it, let me know that too. I'm always looking for suggestions on things to film. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some more maintenance on this bike. I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to repack the bearings in the hubs on my wheels. So that'll be something interesting. I'm also going to redo the bottom bracket, the chain. I got a little surprised about the derailleur and pulley wheels. So thanks for watching. And this was Chris. Peace. Have a good one.